The second thing to do, ideally before you go to bed each night, so that you end the day really well with a symmetrical and stretchy body, is to stretch out the key muscle groups that attach to the pelvis, to loosen the abdominal wall and to loosen the pelvic floor. So the first of the stretches, there are 3, that I would recommend is to bring a knee to your chest on one side and give it a lovely little hug. And this will stretch the hamstring as it curls around into the buttock and just picks up the edges of the pelvic floor at the front on this side. And then slowly lengthen the leg on the other side and feel a lovely big stretch down the front of the thigh and again onto the abdominal wall. If you had a cesarean, it should feel like a nice stretch and a little bit into the vagina area. Does that feel nice?
Yeah, lovely.
Hold your stretch comfortably for about 30 seconds or half a dozen breaths and just let gravity stretch you out. You're not trying to force it. And just breathe. It's nice to have a timer because sometimes 30 seconds feels like very little, sometimes quite long. So when your buzzer goes off, beep, 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 pop your foot down, bring your leg back in, and change sides. And it's better to bring one in first and then straighten the other rather than the other way around. You get a better stretch.
Okay.
Yeah. Hold this side now, getting hamstrings on the new side, stretching down the leg on this side. Just breathe. Let nature and gravity stretch you out. It should feel delicious, like it's just letting things find their space.
That's lovely.
And then your buzzer goes off and you put your foot down. And the research shows that 3 lots of stretches is the most effective. So you go back to your first side, stretch out. But in your second round, feel what your body's asking for. It might want you to wiggle a bit. You might have a real urge to move your foot up and down.
Have a dance.
Some people find they want to put an arm out.
Yeah.
Listen to what your body wants from you, especially if it's the end of the day and you've not really had a moment. And then when the buzzer goes off, beep, 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 bring your leg back in and change it round and stretch. And generally, we suggest 3 stretches. 2's not quite enough, but more than 3, we don't feel you're gaining much for what you're doing.
Okay.
So you would
3
do
sets.
So 3
rounds.
times, right, left, right, left, right, left.
Lovely.
And then when you've done your 3 of this one, pop your feet down. So you would do one more. Put your feet together and let your knees go out to the side. A classic butterfly stretch. And here we're going to pick up some stretch into the adductors that run from your knees right onto the pubic bone at the front. And those muscles will integrate with your pelvic floor muscles. So by stretching these, we're also stretching out those really important pelvic floor and perineal tissues at the opening. You might not want to do it for very long. You might only want 20 seconds. You might feel initially you can only do little baby stretches and then coming back in. But over time, each night, you'll find you get a little bit further and a little bit further. And you don't want to feel you're forcing it. Just let the weight of the air rest on your body and open you up naturally.
And if people wanted to use blocks or cushions to prop up the thighs, presumably that could be a good thing.
Very good idea. So we could take a cushion and make sure that when you came down, you met something so you felt safe and you didn't feel you were pulling on anything.
Yeah.
And another lovely place is in the bath because you can rest your legs against the edges of the bath and get a very mini stretch if you're feeling that you need to protect and go about things gently.
Yeah.
If you've gone beyond this and you're feeling, I'm not sure I'm getting so much stretch anymore, then you can bring your knees in towards your chest, pop your hands through the middle for your ankles and stretch here. It's a little bit more in the inside thigh, but now it's a little bit more vulnerable. You're exposing your bottom back to the air. You might want to be clothed initially, but just letting yourself, let any feelings that need to come and go. Let your body just get used to being open, vulnerable, exposed. And then you can bring your knees together and bring your feet back down.
And how many of these would we do?
So again, 3 times. 3 times, maximum 30 seconds. Maximum 3. More doesn't get you more. It's nice,
Yeah.
kind of, just 3. And then the third stretch is called Happy Baby. You have to channel your inner toddler in their nappy. So you bring both knees one by one in, and you hold the backs of your thighs. Now, it looks a bit like the first one. You think, oh, is it another hamstring stretch? And it does stretch your hamstrings, but the point here is to open up the sit bones. We spend a lot of the day sitting with our bones coming in, especially if you're nursing and feeding. So we want the bottom bones to head out towards the corners of the room. And you can give a little pull on the inside thighs, exactly like that, to just open that space.
Yeah.
Nice?
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, just 30 seconds. And then you can release by some people feel it's enough of a release just to bring the knees back, or you could take them all the way down. And then you would put the stretch back on again. And maybe you combine it with your breathing from earlier, just breathing lovely and deep and letting that breath go all the way to the pelvic floor. And then the next more advanced stretch would be to pull your toes out, grab your toes.
Through the middle.
Go out around the outside, grab your toes, and then gently straighten the knees a bit. And now really channel your toddler. You can do a little bit of rocking side to side. And some people like a wide Happy Baby stretch. And some people like a narrow one.
And it just depends how your
just what's
pelvic floor
comfortable
is feeling.
Comfortable for you. Stretches should feel delicious. They should feel yummy. They should feel nice to do, not forcing anything. And done every night, it means you always go to bed back to square one, and maybe even a little bit better than a few days before. And you'll find you can relax onto your mattress and get off to sleep a lot quicker.
Fab. Thanks very much.